Here we are again, Irish wrestling and its history. Did you know that there is a move that is used in probably 90% of professional wrestling matches, from house shows to independent shows, all the way up to big bill WrestleMania matches, and that this move is basically Irish in its origins. Did you also know that it wasn't the Irish whip? This is a run through of the collar and elbow tie up. The collar and elbow tie up is pretty much the first wrestling move that you will do and that you will learn. Okay, it starts everything. So when you go to a wrestling school, the first thing you'll do is you'll do your warm up. You'll do some stretches. You might do some rolls. Then you'll go through your bumps. You'll get winded doing your front bumps and your back bumps and your side bumps. But the very first wrestling move you do is the collar and elbow tie up, because basically it starts everything. So even if you are Brock Lesnar against Goldberg, or your Triple H against Sting, or your Kane, that's a choke slam, against Y2J, the beginning of your match is Irish in its history. The collar and elbow tie-up is based on collar and elbow wrestling, and while professional wrestling originated in France and became popular in America, this form of jacket wrestling originated in Ireland, where carvings of it can be found as far back as the 9th century on the High Market Cross of Kells. Collar and elbow wrestling itself was at one time practiced all across Ireland, with each parish having its own champion. These champions would then challenge other parishes and other towns. Even the mythical hero Cuchulainn boasted about how good he was at both hurling and wrestling, which, to be honest with you, comes across as a bit of a heelish move. Even on one occasion becoming enraged when an undead spectre mockingly suggested his wrestling skills had been highly exaggerated. Collar and elbow wrestling was also very popular in other parts of the world due to the high levels of Irish migrants working there, and while this popularity was quite high at one stage, over time it did fade. This decrease in popularity can be contributed to both the famine as well as just other wrestling techniques emerging. In more recent times, this form of wrestling has seen a bit of a revival or a renaissance of sorts, with different matches and tournaments taking place with a more specific rule set, as opposed to the original rule set, which wouldn't have had many rules and would have been quite open-ended, where the wrestling matches can actually last a couple of hours long, as opposed to now, where the bouts may only last a few minutes. It has been said that the Irish have helped build the world. Such is our impact from years and years of migration. The same can be said for professional wrestling, with the impact that collar and elbow wrestling has had on this industry. I hope you liked the video, and if you did, please let me know. Until next time, slán.